May 2022 is going to be another May that many crypto investors wish they had sold in May and gone away. The last week has been absolutely devastating, in particular for Luna, UST, and Anchor holders. Let's take a look at what is happening with those cryptos in today's market, and also buyers returning to Bitcoin. First signs we are seeing a solid bounce. We've covered this for the last few days with our fear and greed plan, looking at buying and indeed buying Bitcoin during this particular dip and not all of the other 1,000 dips that you constantly hear from influencers. So let's take a look at how we are doing that in today's video. First up, smash the likes and subscribe, helps the channel out a lot, get to more people so they stop getting wrecked by nonsense out there in the market. We've also got our special on, or our special with TIA Premium. Link is in the description, $100 off. It's a crypto crash sale. Use that code down below. And of course, win up to half an ETH through Bybit. Link is in the video description. 4 lucky winners exclusive to this channel will get the chance to win half an ETH. 4 winners down there. All right, guys, let's crack on with today's video. Updating UST, and we're currently sitting at 14.5 cents. Just before I started filming, we were sitting at 5 cents for quite some time as it was being delisted off of Binance. In particular, Luna has been delisted. It's sitting at 0.00005 at this point in time. So that's basically where it's at. It's a fraction of a cent. The reason a lot of people have been getting absolutely wrecked on Luna, even after the huge breakdown from $75 and $60, and again at around $25 to $30, is that many people are trying to catch these stellar runs on Luna. You can see 1,000% happened just 2 days ago. I'm on a 1 hour chart here, 1,000% over the course of 2 hours. And then you had 100% just back here a day ago. Also last night, there was 577% from the low. And then again, in the early hours of the 13th, there was 1,284%. So a lot of people are trying to get on board these quick runs and basically getting wrecked, just trying to buy anytime they can, and then hope that they get on board a 500 or 1,000% return over the matter of just a few hours. Now, I'm not endorsing trading like this, especially with no experience in fast-moving, volatile markets. But if you're going to get into that, definitely keep your stops in place, because the market for Luna is essentially dropping 99% almost every 24 hours. It gets to $1, it drops to 1 cent. It gets to 1 cent, it drops to 0.01 of a cent. It gets to that, and then again, 99% down. So that's how you can keep losing time and time again. As for Terra over here on CoinMarketCap, the circulating supply is absolutely wild. Total now is 7 trillion Luna. This started out at about 350 million Luna. So we're now at 7 trillion. The supply is, if I do my quick maths, is about a 20x. And so if we're on board with a 20x return, we're probably never going to see that high price again. So if you're going for the 1,000%, stay extremely safe. I don't even suggest it. It's a very difficult game. But if you think Luna's ever going to make it back to $120, you're almost better to play the lottery, because the supply is 20x'd and will probably be far more than that by the time you see this video. This is like Venezuela or Germany after Second World War. The amount they are printing is way beyond that. To think that it would ever get back to $120, probably never ever going to happen at this current rate, especially with all of the printing of Luna. The volume of Luna has basically left Binance at this point in time. You can see that it's down to in the hundreds of thousands of dollars rather than in the tens of millions of dollars, which is what's currently on FTX. That comes down to Binance announcing that they've delisted it. So I've got this announcement here on my Twitter. Links to Twitter and Instagram are in the video description. Got a Q&A on Instagram at the moment. So if you want to ask questions, jump over there. And then if you want to just follow these accounts so that you don't get scammed by any of the other ridiculous scammer accounts, just follow those accounts there. They're in the video description. Binance states here that Luna is gone. Luna BUSD, Luna USDT, Luna BTC. That's cross pairs, isolated margin pairs, spot pairs, more spot pairs, UST against USDT also gone as well as of the 13th. So early hours, or basically just a few hours ago, according to this announcement right here. So the volume is gone. It's shifting to other exchanges. I mean, I don't think there's much left for anyone else. You're down 99.999%. It's probably just a good idea just to wipe it off your minds and get on with the job at hand. So Luna's obviously crushed, UST crushed, Anchor also crushed, now down at 7 cents, still trading, but again, it's absolutely crushed. So these are probably going to be some of the worst cryptos in this cryptocurrency bear market. Now, if you're in this situation, like I just said a moment ago, I'd probably just scrap these off my list and start to use my energy somewhere else. There's no point in worrying about it now. There's nothing else you can do. It's a massive loss. It's a rug. You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's gone from whatever you had to practically zero. And it's basically zero in a lot of cases because you can't even trade it. And it's probably going to be delisted from more exchanges as well as the time goes on, should it keep getting printed to oblivion. So it is what it is. It's gone. Now, in terms of how it happened, why it happened, look, it's happened. Money's gone. But there was the rumor, of course, by our good mate here, Charles Hoskinson, loves these rumors on Twitter. BlackRock, Citadel borrowed 100K, etc., etc. The story goes that these big hedge funds, the biggest in the world, they basically took that exact moment. They conned Do Kwon, sold off the Bitcoin and the UST to dump the markets. Luna had to pump up, to keep printing to pump up UST. That's how the rumor goes. BlackRock and Citadel have come out and denied involvement in the Terra collapse. Do you want to believe them? Do you not? At the end of the day, it's happened. It's happened. No one is going to come after them, even if it was true. But of course, it seems like a rumor, which is what happens in cryptocurrency all the time. There was a ton of rumors 2017, ton of rumors 2018, 2021. It doesn't stop. So I would just put that aside. There's nothing we can control in that. And I'm all about having control for yourself. Remain in power to make the best of a bad situation. You give that power away in terms of rumors and start hating people, you will fail and you will not make the next bull market. You will not make it. So let it be to the people who are banging on about it on Twitter. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all. It's just headlines to get some more clicks. Overnight, the stablecoin market also started to depeg. So people were getting fearful about USDT and USDC. Yesterday, we saw USDT drop to 94 cents, 94.1 cents. And this has happened in the past before, and it's maintained its peg. It's come back. It's also gone up to $1.10. This is trading on Coinbase. It's had many years of history, and it's happened multiple times before. Generally, it trades around 99 cents to $1.01. But even closer than that, it's basically 0.2 of a cent off its peg on either side of the market as well. So these are some serious situations. People are scared of UST. They're also now scared of stablecoins. No matter all of the rumors that we had about USDT crashing the markets in what I remember in 2017 and 2018, what new people saw in 2021 and now in 2022, USDT has been around for that period. I'm not saying it'll be here forever, but so far it has done the job better than pretty much any other stablecoin. USDC is the other main player at the moment. It's only just slightly lost its peg by half a cent, so nothing too extreme. But these things can lose their pegs and come right back. And you can see from USDC's history for some brief moments down to 20 cents and then all the way back up again. But remember, these guys are centralized, so they're going to have a little more power in keeping their peg than something like UST. The other FUD in the market, especially in stablecoins and people's portfolios, is Coinbase potentially going bankrupt because they weren't able to maintain their same profit margins as they had last quarter, which I'm sure they were well aware of this. When the markets go a little more quiet, they make less trading fees. They've been through multiple market cycles. So the fears are, in my opinion, pretty ridiculous. And like I pointed out in yesterday's video, when Coinbase was trading at $53, we did see a spike down overnight to $41 and now back at $58.5. The assets on Coinbase's books are about 20 billion. Their market value was yesterday at about 12 billion. So even though it dumped to $44, maybe it was a 10 billion valuation, they have about 20 billion of assets. The company could double and then they would be equal with the assets that they have. And so I think over time, this is probably going to come back, and this might be the extreme fear that the market has been waiting for, and potentially could be our extreme fear moment for that significant low that I have been banging on about for many months on the channel. Not buying all the dips, just buying the fear and greed dips, which we specifically discuss in our fear and greed plan. And our members at TIA Lite and TIA Premium. Again, links are in the video description. Join us for our weekly group calls and portfolio updates, crypto trading. A lot of good information is over there. Link in the top of the description for members, and of course, premium courses on special. We look specifically at buying particular times because we don't want to be like everyone else in the crowd that don't know, well, that aren't interested in reading a chart and getting that really good price in the market when that fear is extremely high. And that's what we've seen over the last 4 to 5 days, Bitcoin dropping from 30K to 25K. And I think that is looking much better in terms of a risk reward play now that we're in this bottom territory between that 20 and 30 grand. The previous resistance was about 24 grand back in late December. There was just a short time where the market had some resistance before it took off again. And so we're getting into this play that the downside, not so bad in my opinion of how I assess the risk of the market. And then the upside looks pretty decent if we're looking at something around 100 to 200 grand in the next few years. So you could still be looking at a 5x or so, which is pretty massive for something that has been around for 13 years and we can continue to grow, should we have the patience and the confirmation in ourselves and our analysis to buy these dips, especially in extremely fearful times. Now, I don't think this is going to recover and come all the way back to 50 grand and off we go this year. If we look back to the other times in the fear and greed plan where these yellow arrows are, these are the times that we were looking to buy based on the fear coming into the market exclusively off just this plan right here. So 15 and under, these times happen to coincide with these times in the market. So about that 6 to 8 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand. Also one little peak out here at around 9, again at 4 grand. And then we had all this zone back in May, which was around that mid 30,000s. And that's basically where we currently sit. I think the perma bears are going to be disappointed, exactly like the perma bulls have been disappointed. You know, could never have gone below 40, should never have gone below 50, so on and so forth. It always happens the same way in the market. You get the extremes to both ends. The bears and the bulls, both of their scenarios will never play out. The perma bulls were looking for 100 grand, 500 grand this cycle, 300 grand, never, ever, ever got close. And the perma bears targets of 3 grand, it has to go back down to these lows, or 8 grand where these lows were before the market took off, or 10 grand. You know, if we started to look in that zone, they are going to be heavily disappointed and they will never get those prices. And of course, the market will turn around and head back up. So the market always has a way of finding how to disappoint and just finding where that weak spot is before it finds its base and turns around. The other nice signals I like here are the volume. Finally, since May of 2021, 12 months later, we are finally seeing some significant, very significant volume coming into the market. You can see we had that again during the peaks of January. That was the last time we had some really, really big volume. And of course, that May bottom. And so since that time, we never saw the same sort of volume since the COVID crash. So the volume is a great sign because that's essentially more trading going on. Buyers, sellers, volume of actual Bitcoin changing hands. And if we see a bottom come in at that point, that can tell us that buyers, significant smart money, is finding value in the price of a particular asset because the volume's up and that bottom's come in. And the close, although we still have 3 days to go for the weekly close, which is a macro picture, that close is getting higher on the bar. It means that they are finding value and they're happy to continue to buy this price up. Doesn't mean it is the exact low, but it is a very, very good sign that we're coming somewhere towards a low. Now, to keep this in perspective in terms of time, we can get the low just like we saw in November of 2018. And then the market goes sideways, get some accumulation, we break out, we go sideways again, we got a scare crash of the black swan event of COVID crash in March 2020, and then we start to move away. So this whole structure took approximately a year and a half minimum for it to play out before it started to break through anything significant from around that 12 to 14,000. Can that happen again? For sure. Can it be quicker? For sure. But the main point I want to make here is just because we get this low doesn't mean the market is going to run away quickly. I think we still have some time for patience, but we still have invalidation points. And that's what it means to have your own investment plan. Can this be invalidated and we start to climb higher and we never see these lower prices? Sure. I think we need to start getting back above our 50% level and then back above our 50K level. This is macro. That's why the prices are going to be much higher. We're going to break significant support and resistance levels rather than just the hourly stuff. So although I think this is a really good buy, the market could then trend down again. You know, maybe we just bounce up a little bit and we trend down and we don't get a massive crash, but people will still be quite fearful. We get towards maybe that 200 weekly moving average, which is pretty close at the moment, just $4,000 off. That could still mean more buying opportunities. So I'm not going to splurge on way too much at this point, but I really do like these opportunities just in case I am wrong and the market quickly runs away. In our next videos on the channel, I'll look at the fear and greed plan in a little more detail. You guys can get access to that now if you like. TIA Lite and TIA Premium, link is in the description. $100 off Premium as well. Go and check that out. Specials on until tomorrow, so definitely go and check that link out. Also, you can win your chance at half an ETH through Bybit. That's exclusive giveaway as well. Great time to be doing it, especially in a crash. Get that cheap ETH. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Thanks for your support. Like and subscribe. Until then, have more fun to get more done.